closed within their own bubble, suspicious and frightened. People no longer meet. They don't talk. They don't look at each other. They are blocked, paralyzed. Like society. We know very well that we can't travel, can't meet up with people. We could say that the so-called global village has gone back to being once more a collection of so many small individual villages, where it is each to their own, and they look at each other with suspicion. That's true, but by protecting ourselves, we end up being further and further away. And the messages that come to us from the media are all about ourselves. We are strong, everything will be fine, we must have faith in us. As if the solution to this situation was all in our hands. But do we really think so? We, Don Bosco's Salesian family, we Christians, we men and women, have been willed by God to be a mirror of His goodness, a ray of hope which brings us back to the great hope that is God. So let us try to reflect God's love. Let us reflect that light that makes all things new. We must be the hand that helps to change values and visions. Let us transform individualism into fellowship, solidarity.
Não sei em quantas casas eu fui, nem quantas coisas eu levei. O que sei é que nunca tinha me acontecido algo assim. Como sempre, dou comida aos sem-tetos, mas desta vez eu levava comigo coisas que também uso em casa. E o problema não estava no fator econômico, estava na limitação da liberdade. Aquela pessoa não podia caminhar, não podia sair, devia enfrentar tudo sozinha. Mas naqueles 2 minutos esteve menos só. Por um momento, esteve menos só.
It is strange to be next to be present, without being able to be with. I could not enter, I could only carry. Once I asked for their name, another time if everything was okay. An everyday life never seen even by me, a whole new routine. Where you see a difficulty, you have to go. But if you have never seen that difficulty either, how do you face, deal with it?
In TV li chiamano i nuovi poveri, e forse è vero, perché i poveri non sono tutti uguali. Tutti hanno fame però, ma anche la fame è diversa. Può essere fame di pane o di cultura, oppure fame di autonomia, di dignità, di integrazione. Tutti hanno bisogno di spazi e di persone amiche. C'è chi è nato povero e chi si è abituato ad esserlo, chi è diventato povero dall'oggi al domani e chi lo è diventato nel tempo perché è perennemente derubato. C'è chi lo è ma non lo accetta. Non è sempre facile avvicinarli, ognuno è diverso. Da noi hanno trovato una famiglia, abbiamo provato ad accoglierli, accompagnarli e promuoverli, facendoli diventare i nostri maestri. Una famiglia che non dorme la notte pensando a come fare, a cosa inventare, per dar loro da mangiare anche domani il pane di cui hanno bisogno.
Let us transform isolation into an opportunity to seek our own authenticity and true and sincere encounter.
No lo pensaba, aunque sé que ocupamos las redes sociales para comunicarnos, pero hablar con los jóvenes, mantener el contacto con ellos, es muy difícil.
Una selfie o un post no es difícil. A veces sucede que debo ponerme en contacto con ellos, pero digo, lo haré más tarde, lo haré después.
Pero no es así, no tiene que ser así, porque tengo que hacerlo.
Porque sé que la proximidad, ahora mismo, solo puede expresarse así.
Nada más comenzar el confinamiento, me puse en contacto con las personas con las que ya tenía abierto un proceso terapéutico para continuar nuestras sesiones por videollamada. Pero claro, ¿qué pasaba con aquellos que no tenían acceso, que no sabían cómo hacerlo? Y por otro lado, ¿qué pasaba con las personas que ni siquiera se planteaban que sería bueno para ellos hablar? Todos vamos a salir de esta, no podemos estar solos, pero tenemos que encontrarnos, ¿no? Tenemos que entender, que imaginar, que acompañar, que prevenir.
Ci hanno chiesto di essere parte attiva per fermare questo virus e noi ci stiamo provando. Io prima non avevo mai neanche fatto una videochiamata e adesso ci faccio le lezioni. Solo che Giuseppe non si collega perché non ha il PC. Chiara perde continuamente la connessione perché deve collegarsi dal lavoro dei genitori con tutte le distrazioni intorno. Luca non ha la DSL e Maria deve condividere la stessa connessione con i suoi 5 fratelli. Non è la didattica a venire meno, non ci interessa che non ricordino una data nello specifico o il nome di un autore. Ci interessa che Giuseppe, Maria, Luca, Chiara non si sentano soli. Per questo ora non faccio altro che mandare messaggi.
Passiamo dalla divisione.
Let us shift from division to unity, from arguing, lack of respect and division, to joining forces and to harmony. Let us shift from discouragement and pessimism to having confidence and hope. Let us shift from being closed, from looking at the other as a risk and an adversary, to opening our doors and hearts in acceptance. From emptiness to the horizon of transcendence. We believe in a sun that shines forever. But are we able to see this sun? And above all, are we able to show it to the world, to show its fruits? The sun makes everything sprout, fills everything with flowers, and God's Son gives us a new spring. Yes, a new springtime. And are we spring or autumn people? God speaks to us through many springtime people who do know and have known how to live with hope. Let us think of our father Don Bosco, who lived his whole life moved by this virtue, facing up to many situations, tragedies, and much pain. He taught us that the path of faith and hope gives us the strength to act, to help and change things, or at least to contain them. Don Bosco looked beyond the problems, and this strength to look ahead gave him faith and hope. Let us think, for example, of the cholera situation. There were people who only cared about themselves and their needs, while Don Bosco and his boys, like many others, worked hard to help everyone overcome the tragedy, because nobody saves themselves. If you have someone who loves you, you are saved. And we all have God who loves us. A world without God is a world without hope. That is why we must propose a path of genuine faith, so that we can train ourselves in hope. Let us train ourselves in hope then, because we know and feel that God is with us. Let us discover hope in prayer, where we find our encounter with Jesus. This prayer, which is listening to and encountering God, this prayer, which has the power to transform us, to open our minds and hearts, and which makes us feel that we are never alone. Let us look for hope in activity, in fatigue, in daily life, because these are the places where we learn to have hope. After all, when human beings launch into action in the effort to transform a situation, what they are doing is not just hoping, but looking with confidence and hope, dreaming of seeing the fruits of their own efforts. Let us discern it in suffering and pain. These are realities that often allow us to open up to hope instead of discouraging us.
No se puede seguir estando divididos, tenemos que ayudarnos.
Moramo uvijek razmišljati o onima kojima je gore nego nama.
È difficile andare come vuole Dio.
من باور دارم که اول آخر تمام میشه.
Mettiamoci nei panni degli altri e aiutiamoci tutti. Io non ho niente.
Affidiamoci a Maria, lei saprà cosa fare.
All insecure in continuous precarious balance.
Nessuno si salva da solo, siamo tutti importanti.
In the biggest crises, so many things disappear, so many securities that we thought we had. But the greater values of the gospel do not disappear. That is why, as the Salesian family of Don Bosco, we must continue to give gospel answers throughout our life, and for the whole life of humanity. The day everything ends, it will be nice to discover that nothing has been lost. No smile, no tears, no effort, no prayer. And when God utters his last word of blessing, "Behold, I make all things new," we will weep, yes. But we will weep with joy, because we have trusted him, because in difficulties and crises, we have placed our hope in him. Do you see the new light that is born and reflected in your eyes? Hope is all there. Let us shine light on this world together.